Welcome to Conversations with the Editors, where we ask members of our team photography and editing related questions to hear what they have to say.
So here at PostPartner, we work with a ton of different presets. Obviously, we have a lot of different clients who work with different cameras, different presets, different editing programs even sometimes. So we see it all. I have my favorite preset, which has been the same since 2012. I'm like that boomer that hasn't let go of his preset since then. So I'm still working and I still love Visco, and specifically like the Fuji 800. That one's just like my bread and butter. I use that for everything. So if you're ever wondering what I use, that's my secret. And Thomas, you got a new camera, so tell me about that.
Oh yeah. So I just got the Fuji X-T3 because I wanted to get into video. So it's a really good like hybrid camera. Like you can do video on it and photo. And something that I learned about it after I bought it is that essentially I'm like in this Reddit subreddit for Fujifilm, and people post like their photos. And I saw this one photo. I was like, holy crap, that's a nice photo. And in the like he posted like how he edited it, and essentially he didn't even take it into like, he didn't do any post-processing. It was all in body adjustments. So essentially there's film simulations in body. So you throw the simulation on, and then you can adjust the highlights, the shadows, the blacks, all that. And then you can also adjust the white balance, and then you just shoot JPEG. And so that's something I've been like doing recently, is like going out and just shooting JPEG with these film simulations. And it's like a digital film camera.
Yeah,
it's so really cool. Fun to shoot.
That's so cool.
I don't know. It's kind of like inspired me to go out and shoot more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
That's
sometimes,
so fun.
like obviously for weddings, you got to shoot raw. But if you're just going out, you know,
for like travel and
like
stuff?
travel or like going on a hike, like it's nice to just shoot that one JPEG, throw it on your phone,
and then
quickly,
you just have it.
Like,
yeah,
and it's like a super nice like edit, like right out of camera. It's crazy.
Yeah. Thomas's favorite preset is no preset.
actually, there's also these things called, like, they call them recipes. So like right now I found this one recipe called, like, it's the Portra 160 recipe. So essentially it's like all the adjustments made in body to make it look like a film simulation of like Portra 160.
That's wicked.
That's so cool. Can you save them in the camera?
Yeah. So you can save 10 of them. So I have like Portra, I have Kodak Gold, I have Kodachrome 64. I have like a ton of them. Yeah,
they look pretty cool, actually. You should post a couple soon.
Yeah.
You haven't posted any?
No, not yet. I haven't posted on my personal Insta page or anything. I'm too lazy. Actually, I have good photos, but then I can't figure out a caption, so I just don't post anything.
That's what I'm for. I'll come up with your captions.
There you go.
That's true.
You have your
little hearts or something.
We'll see.
Yeah. It's gonna be like thinking about her, heart.
Yeah.
Like
every caption is gonna be about me.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's cool. Anybody else?
When I started photography, I used the LXC presets, and I think I got one and I changed it immediately, and I have no idea what I changed it to. But then I was like liking it, but then I was like, oh, I don't know if there was something about it that I didn't like, and I don't know what it is. But anyways, then I switched to the DC presets, the Don Charles presets, and I actually have no idea what pack I own, but there's this one pack and there's this one preset in the pack that is just gold. And I feel like I found like the one that makes any image look amazing.
Oh, such a good feeling.
So that's like, I've strived to find that. And like, there are things about it. Like I changed the greens and the oranges so much. And I feel like there's like a little bit more tweaking to be done to fit like my camera, but those ones are so good. And if I was to ever, I don't know, become a way different photographer than I am now, I think I would use like a really earthy brown preset.
Yeah.
And just try to make it look deserty and pretty.
Well, I feel like, isn't yours sort of like that? It's just you don't live in the desert, so it doesn't look that way.
I should go to the desert, take some photos, come back. That'd actually be really That'd be so cool if you could just like plan a trip to like 5 different type of sceneries and then take basically the same photo and then edit them all to the same and
Do it.
maybe yeah.
Little
I'll add it to my
experiment.
Do it.
add it to my list.
Just and do the exact same pose.
Yeah.
Like it's exact
exactly.
same or exact same subject.
Yeah.
Different backgrounds.
Oh,
Yes, you should do that.
You could get a
Yeah.
green screen and just
Whoa.
go
Here we
fun.
go.
Oh my gosh.
And then we can
Save
just
all the
Photoshop
travel.
Dude, that was sick.
That's true.
it.
Okay, I'll think more on it.
Yeah, think about it. It's a great idea.
You also use the Don Charles presets for like weddings and stuff.
Mhm.
Don Charles too, I think. So we have the second,
I think it's
the
like
second pack.
second pack. I think we used 2.2 and 2.5, like tweaked versions of it.
Same thing. We changed the oranges and greens because I like really, really dark greens. But other than that, I love how golden the photos are. They're so
Yeah.
pretty. So
Yeah.
pretty.
Was it just like you guys applied those presets and as soon as you applied them, you're like, yeah, this is it? Or was it you had to work for it a bit?
Well, we had the first pack and second pack. The first pack was a little bit more difficult to work with, but the second pack is like more of like it feels like a one-click type of preset.
Yeah.
That's so
We
nice.
started off with, you had Phil Chester presets when we like first started shooting. And those ones like just, I felt like took a lot of like work. They were like the very first preset we ever worked with.
Mhm.
And then we got the Don Charles and it was like, yes, like these are nice. And then the Don Charles 2 preset came out and I was like, this is gold. Like it was like the progression.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like every photographer goes through, like, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm going to. I feel like every photographer buys presets and then instantly like they apply them and then I feel like everyone's like, oh crap, like I shouldn't have bought this, like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
horrible, like waste of money. But then after you use it on like a few images and adjust it to actually what like your eye likes, then it's obviously worth the money. But the
Yeah.
first
I feel like every photographer's eyes like also changing. Like you settle for something, it's like, okay, I actually don't like this. Except for Myles, like he's been doing the same thing since
Nah,
2012,
God.
but he's old, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. There's always like things that you change, like whether it's the hue, like different saturation adjustments, like yeah. But or it might be like you might jump to a different preset. It's like, oh, actually that looks good to me now. So it's like I feel like at least for myself, like my eyes always changing. Like what I'd like is always changing.
yeah, and
Like,
the
at
gear
first, I
that
was-
like we're using.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it changes
Yeah.
the look of it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. At first I was like following all of these like classic PNW photographers, and I mean like they're good, but
Trying to like pave your own path kind of in a
yeah,
sense.
like at first I was doing like a lot of like copying, like this is what this guy's doing. He has 200,000 300,000 followers on Instagram, so that's what I want to do. But
Yeah,
like
I
eventually
remember that
it's like,
stage in your life. I remember that.
you know what, we've all been there. Actually maybe you haven't, like you're like pre-Instagram. You're like,
Yeah, I'm just a dinosaur over here. I'm still trying to emulate
But-
film.
yeah, yeah, fair. Yeah, but yeah, eventually like you try finding your own creative way to like get what you want. Like you kind of like develop your creativity and the way you edit. So.
Yeah.
I have a thought and a question after this thought. So my thought is, I've noticed that every preset that I've ever tried to use, I always end up just making it look the same. So like if I've applied 5 different presets, after I've done my adjustments, without realizing it, the images all look the exact same. Have you guys noticed that ever happening with the different presets you try applying? Like you're just drawn towards a specific look?
Yeah, I feel like for multiple presets, like when I'm trying multiple presets out, I make sure like the grain is identical in all of them.
Mm.
And like same with the colors. Like I don't know what the point of doing that is, but I also like make them all the same. And then I choose which one to me apparently looks the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like contrast is one thing that I feel like sets presets apart a lot of the time. And I, no matter what, like if it's more contrasty when I apply the preset, I'll like take back the contrast or I'll like take back blacks or something. So it's always like, it always is like what I want it to look like at the end.
Yeah. I feel like
It doesn't matter what the preset is.
yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
for me, like the two main things that like if I go from one preset to another is the greens and the skin tones. Like I always want that nice warm, like just tad bit of magenta in the skin tones.
Yeah.
And the greens, I like them nice and like dark, desaturated, nice and like kind of like a dark, bold type of green.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like it's just like your eye knows what it wants. You know?
It's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I like after like editing for so long, I find that every image now, it's like I criticize the greens, criticize the oranges. Now it's like yellows in the whites, also
Oh, no.
blues in the whites, blues and like greens and shadows, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah. Isn't like I heard that the human eye is drawn to the color green. Like that's what it like notices, or that's what it like focuses on. So I don't know. I feel that like that's why most photographers are obsessed with their greens. Trust me, it's a credible source.
Okay, I believe you.
I think it was like Yahoo Answers or something. Or, I don't know.
It's on a Reddit. It's on a subreddit somewhere.
Maybe it was
You
in
sounded
my dream
confident,
or something.
so sounded confident, so I'll believe you.
I think someone said it once in like one of my dreams, or
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Just making
Cool.
stuff up.
fact check that. But
Yeah, maybe we won't. We'll just say you're probably right.
I am.
If you guys want links to any of the presets that we mentioned, we will throw those into the show notes. And if you want to check out some of our work, we'll also throw that in there so you know who's talking and what we're actually talking about when we say our images look a certain way. So yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Conversations with the Editors. Be sure to check out the show notes for everything we referenced in the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. See you next week.